Hey, good evening, all of you. Uh, in today's class or in this video, I would like to start off from this point. In the last video, I had not explained gets and puts statements of unformatted IO services. Now, in the today's class, I would like to explain the usage of gets and puts through a program, and that completes the managing input and output in C. Let us see the program. I already typed the program here, and let us analyze this. Gedit. The file name is git.c. Look at this. Here is a code, and we will see the output of this program here itself. But I will explain the program. So you can see here char pointer buff. It says that buff is a pointer to a character, a set of characters. Just take it for a moment like that. Now, to make the program interactive, I will add a statement called printf enter the string, and after printing that string, you tend to enter a value, and that entered value must be recorded to the variable buff. So here you please note that I am using a string, a new function called gets, and the parameter to this gets function is, or argument to this gets function is name of this variable. This and this are one and the same, buff. But what I am passing is the address of this. Yeah, and then you see printf entered string is, later the put statement is used to display back the value that is keyed in just a moment ago. So later getChar is used to hold the output in the console screen until some other key is pressed on the keyboard. I'm going to repeat this. You all know this header files stdio.it and stdlib.h. So this is one of the file that is required to get the output for gets and puts. Now in the first line of the program, I am declaring a variable. The name of the variable is buff, and what buff is going to contain means it's going to contain character. Made it pointer because if I declare char buff, it can contain only one letter. If you declare it like char star, it can contain group of characters. So that means it can store a string in that place. Called buff in the memory. Now, when you simply declare like this, it is not given any value. It is uninitialized. Hope you're understanding. It is uninitialized. In case if I have written like this, then buff is said to be initialized with a string high. In other words, what is there in a memory location called buff means then you could have told that there is a letter string called high. In other words, there is a group of characters called high. Okay, so this could be possible because it declared it as char star. So suppose if you declare like this, then it would show wrong, because in the memory location pointing by buff, we can store only single letter. So now my purpose is to store a string. That is why I'm adding a pointer here. So blindly, still pointer concept is not covered to you all. You can understand that if you declare buff char buff, then you can assign a single character. This is true. This is correct. But suppose if you do like this, if you initialize a group of character to a variable which is of simply declared as a character type, then it becomes wrong. It is not correct. Understand? And in this variable buff of type char, you can store only one letter but not a group of letter. So if you want to store a group of letter, so make it a pointer. Understand? So declaration is done. So then you have to receive something now. Sorry, before that, I will make this uninitialized. Uninitialized means I'm not assigning any value. I will simply terminate that with a semicolon. Fine. So having declared an uninitialized character array or a character pointer variable, next step in the program is to receive the string or a group of characters typed from the keyboard. So so type from the keyboard. So to intimate the user of the program to start typing something on the keyboard, we will add the statement printf enter the string. Seeing that statement, one who is executing the program will start typing the string value on the keyboard. Once you start typing the key value on the keyboard, it must be received and stored in the variable buff. Understand? So this part could be done using scanf also, but intention of this program is to explain you how to use gets and puts, which were not covered in the previous video. Right? So now this is the time to tell that gets can be used in the way it is showed. So you have to pass address of the pointer variable that is taken here. So once you say address is indicated by ampersand, that is shown. So and similarly, if you want to display it, the function is puts, and where parameter is the character where are a variable and an ampersand preceding it. Ampersand preceding it. So using this, we can receive the string from the keyboard and you can print the value of the received variable, character or a variable using puts. And later in the program, at last you will find get char. Get char function is to receive a single key typed from the keyboard. And after receiving that, since it encounters a closing bracket, the program terminates. Now let us see the output of this. So to see the output, I will close this function, close with save. Now go back. So you know the compile command to compile this get cc is showing some warnings. So now enter the string. I will press KIT. Now it is showing entered string is KIT. Now see when this sentence is typed, when this sentence printed, you will enter this value. After entering this, the same value is displayed back. After displaying entered string is. Each line is casted or shown in the next line because I have included /n in each printf. So please see this. After typing a key, you see console command prompt came back. Now again I will type gedit. I'll go back to the same program. You see I use /n and /n, but getSn takes the input in the new line, statement will print the past argument value in the new line. Now this is all about gets and puts. So points to be remembered is gets and puts. You are going to make use of them only when you want to receive a string from the keyboard, but not a character. If it is a character, why should you have to use that? Simply scan of percentage C is sufficient. So, and of course, get test can also be used in that case, but however, it is not a good practice of programming. And then when you want to print a string directly, so then you can use puts. So yeah, that's all about this, how the meaning of the gets and puts is covered. Now let me see gets and puts, unformatted IO services is covered. So with this, the first heading, managing input output in C, is covered off. So the next thing in the slide is branching and conditional looping. So we will now study that, and we will explain. We will see the practicals of that through various set of programs. Now this is what we are going to learn here: decision making and branching. See, please try to know that if someone asks you in what way a C program will be executed, so then immediately have to think that whether the program executes line by line or block by block or group by group or something like that. See, unless otherwise it is programmatically coded, programmatically shown in the code, all C programs will be executed in a sequential manner. So what do you mean by sequential manner? At first it executes the first line, and as soon as it executes the first line, it goes to the next line. As soon as it executes the second line, it goes to the third line. If a program is executed in this manner, then you can conclude that the program is being executed in sequential manner. So suppose if a program is being executed like this, it first executes the first line. After executing the first line, it will go to the last line, and after going to the last line, it comes back to the third line and executes. So this kind of jumping happens. Or else it executes the first line. After executing the first line, it skips the second, third, fourth line, and then it goes to the sixth line and starts executing from the sixth line onwards in the program. So then you can tell that execution is branched. Execution is branched. Now, in this video, we will learn about those C statements or instructions in the C programming language which will divert the sequential execution to different branches in the program. Branches means different parts in the program or different blocks of code in the program. So you will understand when you see the further slides, you will understand what it is. I'm repeating once again. Normally a program executes sequentially. Sequential execution means program starts with the opening brace, then it goes to the first line, executes the first line, and then it goes to second line, and it goes to third line. In the similar way, it executes all the end lines in the program, reaches the nth line, and then it will terminate after finding the last closed flower bracket of the main function. So this can be understood as a sequential execution. Suppose if it is not happening like that, program starts its execution through the first open bracket, open flower bracket, then execute the first line and second line. After executing second line, immediately it jumps to the seventh line. Then it resumes the execution from seventh line till the last line. So then we can tell that execution of the program is branched. Hope you can imagine the concepts what I am telling. You can pause the audio, you can re-listen to the statements, and then you can thoroughly understand what I am trying to sell. However, in the subsequent slides, you will really know what it is. But at this slide, to just give a big picture, to just give a broad picture about what is the meaning of execution of a program sequentially and branching, I'm speaking, with abstract data, abstract concepts about sequential execution and branching execution. So now, in C language, we will study if statements, with statement, conditional operators, and go-to statement. The conditional operator, okay. So we'll study this. Now, look at this. There is a statement. Statement means it is a word which is known to the C compiler. If means C compiler know what it is. What if stands for. It is used to control flow of execution of a statement. It is okay. The line should have been corrected like this. Should have to be. It is used to control the flow of execution of the statements in a program. It is a two-way decision statement and it is used in conjunction with the expression. Now just look at this. If age is more than 55, then person is retired. Now, what is the meaning of decision making? So we will take up a program now. We will see the usage of if. Then we will come back to its explanation. I think then it would make the complete sense about what I am talking to you. Okay, so now, as ls minus l. I have so many programs here which are typed by me. I think contest, I suppose. Contest, I suppose. Okay. gedit contest.c contest. And now, so look here. Look at this program. This is a very simple program. Very simple means it's very simple and there is no any difficulty in understanding. Now, as I said, the program execution starts after seeing this opening brace. Execution starts from the main always. When we want to say execution starts from the main, it means that control starts to execute. Control is from the main. Now control now enters this flower bracket. As soon as it enters, it finds the first line, that is int I is equal to 2. Now and character C is equal to 2. Now character C is not initialized any value. These are the two variables to which are declared, and these are the statement which will not be executed. It is only a statement which is declared. All the variables which are declared will be treated in the compilation stage only. Before actually the execution of the program happens, the compiler knows I is equal to 2 and C is equal to nothing, and C is of type char and I is of type integer. So this part will not be executed. It is compiled. There is a difference between compiling and execution. Compiling means these instructions are handled by compiler. Execution means instructions are sent to the processor and executed. So now, when it comes to the third line in the program, see, this is the third line. Yeah, this is happens to be the third line. But this editor includes the spaces and all. So that is why it is showing line 12 in the screen. Okay, now, so for us, this is the third line in the program. See what this line is doing. You are mentioning I of if open parenthesis I is equal to 2 and then close parenthesis. Now what this particular line in the program says, if I is equal to 2, that means really this I, really the first line shows a variable called I. If really if that variable I contains 2, then only execution goes here. Execution goes here. That means execution which was here now enters this block. I'm calling this as a block because this printf statement is enclosed within a set of flower brackets. So whatever the lines that you write within a flower bracket is one block. Now similarly, this entire part constitutes to be the main block. Why? Because so here there is a opening flower bracket, and here there is a closing flower bracket. That whatever comes within this opening flower bracket and closing flower bracket of the main is called one block. Understand? Now similarly, when it comes to within this main function, when it comes here, whatever that is there within the first set of flower bracket will be called as first block. Understand? So now here this is where the branching actually happens. You know what? We are making a decision testing here. We are checking whether really I contains 2 or not. Understand? So if I really contains 2, then only the processor will execute this program. Otherwise, this line will be skipped off. So after skipping, what will happen? Execution comes here. A line which exists after the first block within the main. This is the first block within the main block. So I am calling first block because this is the first pair of opening brace and the closing flower brace. Understand? And then printf, enter the value of the character. So this line will be executed in case if I is not equal to 2. So by this what I want to tell is, if is a C statement which contains condition. Now followed by if is the flower brace and a close brace. Now here what you write, code of, so what you can say, lines of code. Now this lines of code can be one or it can be multiple. Understand? So but all these lines of code that you write within the flower brace, opening flower brace and the closing flower brace of the if loop, if will be executed if and only if this condition is true. Understand? That's what it says. If condition true, go inside and execute all that is there inside the block inside the if block. Again here, block means is a block. Block means, look at this, opening brace and a closing brace. Within that there should be something, and that something is nothing but C code only. Now here you see if will be executed if and only if this condition is correct. Condition is correct means it is true. What is true? The condition being checked is true, right? If condition being checked is true, then only the execution will go inside. In other words, technically control of execution will go inside this if block. We call this as block if you find opening brace and a closing brace, and within that if there is lines of code. What do a block contains? A block contains a code. What is a block? A set of opening brace and a closing brace. Is it called if block? Yes, it is if block, because if this flower bracket and closure bracket are following a if statement. How should we write if? I should write if, English letter if, and then following that you should write a opening parenthesis and then closing parenthesis. Within that opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis, you should mention the condition. Understand? Let me call this condition as, I should write if loop like this, and I should write a condition. Let me name condition as C1 in this case. Is that fine? So if this condition is correct, in other words, if this condition is true, then only execution goes inside and execute that, and that is what it's all about. Now let us see the output of this code. So to see the output, close this function. What it is saying, you see, I is equal to 2. If I is equal to 2, it has to print the statement I is equal to 2 is correct. Save this, come out. Save this and come out. To compile the program, let us see what is to be told. CC contest.c. Now conclusion, what is it? Compilation is done properly. That's why it moved to the next prompt. So is it showing I is equal to correct now? I is equal to 2 is correct. Yeah. So fine, we'll get back to this. Now we'll go back to the program. Now I will change I value to 100. I will save this and I will close this getEdit. Now come out. After coming out, compile this program once again. Use /a.out. Can you see it is not showing any character here, any value here for I, any statement like I contains 2. Now in the program you could see if I is really 2, it must print a statement I is 2 is correct, I is equal to 2 is correct. But since I is equal to 100, now it is not printing the statement. Instead, it is escaping that particular block and printing the statement followed by the block, which is present followed by the block. Okay, so Control Z. So let us go to the program and analyze further how it works out. Now see the statement present, which is present immediately below the first if block, that what you see is printf, enter the value of the character. So after that scanf is present. So that means these two sets of line, this set of line is displaying a value, displaying a string statement and receiving a character value. Hope you are familiar with this from the previous classes. So after receiving a character, it will store in the name in the variable C. C is of type char. Now again we use if statement to check whether the value that is entered and stored in the variable C is A. If that is A, it must print A. It must print A. Now let us see this. Save, close, go back. And just A. You entered letter A. Okay, so Control Z to come out of the execution. So program has still many more lines in the file, but I will show the usage of all those after slight for some more explanation about this if loop. I'll close this. We'll get back to the slide. Now you will see how it is going to work out when you see the slide. If is a statement that is available in C programming language. If should be followed by a parenthesis, and then you should mention condition that is to be checked for its truthness, and then close parenthesis. So if condition is true, or the whatever that expression that you will write here is correct, and it is evaluated to be correct, so then only execution of the statements which are present within the flower brackets following the if loop, if statement will be executed one after the other. Now here it is saying that within the flower bracket you will find the statement 1 terminated by semicolon. Like that there can be statement 2, statement 3, and n number of statements can be there. Now look at this flow chart here. Execution of the if loop starts from this point. It tests an expression. Expression means the condition that you write here, right within the parenthesis here. And then if it is true, it will go inside this block and execute all the lines which are there in the block. In case if it is not true, then it skips the things. And that's what it is saying. It evaluates the text expression, or in other words condition, for its truthfulness. If it is true and correct, then it goes here. Goes here means goes inside the block and execute. If it is not true, it will go out. That means it will skip this and execute all that is present after the after this block, after the if block. So this is clear. Now here it is showing one more example. If age is more than 55, so you must write age greater than 55, then print a statement person is retired. So hope this is reaching you okay in a better way. Next we will see how and whatever forms of if statements can be used in the program. Now you will see, so this is referring to simple if. That means we are using if condition, a block and statement following that. Next, if else is there. Nested if else is there. So then if else ladder is there. Let us study each of them in the slide, and then we will go back to the program and we will see how it works out. See, look here. Here in the case, yeah, look at this program. So this is simple if statement. Now, how is the simple if statement? You look here. First, you will write if and a condition within the if loop, if statement, and then a flower bracket and a group of statements that we call the statement block, and then closing bracket. And after following this closing flower bracket, immediately there should be a line now. Now you see how it works out. If the condition is true, the execution comes here and goes inside this, inside the flower bracket. It executes all the statement that is present within the if block it and comes out when it is ended, provided the condition is true. If the condition is not true, means what? This entire block is skipped. This entire block is skipped, and execution will be execution of the statement following immediately following the close of floor bracket will be executed. Similarly, you see, if category is equal to sports, then go and update the variable mark is equal to mark plus bonus. Otherwise, skip this part within the flower bracket, whatever that is there, you skip it, but simply execute a line, a C statement line present immediately below the closing flower bracket. Understand? So that is what it's see. That's what it's this flow chart will explain you. Execution comes here, tests the condition. If the condition is true, it executes this statement block. Otherwise, if it is false, condition is false, it will go here and execute the statement X. So it is shown with respect to this if loop, generic if loop, what is shown there. Now let us analyze the program here. Main int abcd are 4 variables which are not initialized to any value, and this line is terminated by a semicolon. And then ratio is a variable of type float, and this line is terminated by semicolon. That is the syntax. Next, printf, enter the 4 integer values. So then the 4 integer values must be scanned. So let us take this as 3 here. One more D is absent. Okay. Enter 4 integer values. The scanf %d, %d, %d. One more % is supposed to be here, and %d ampersand d should also be present here, but unfortunately it is not present here. However, it is good because I can tell you with the stress that see that there are 3 % d is here, and it is supposed to be 4 % d because we are reading value for 4 variables, because we have taken A, B, C, D. Now %d for A, %d for B, %d for reading C, and one more %d should be there if we are reading a value for D variable also, and ampersand D should also be there. Now here this is what we are doing. If say next if statement comes, within the if statement we are adding a condition, we are mentioning a condition within the if loop, that if statement, that is check out whether C minus D is not equal to 0. So this is called not equal. If 2 equals are present, you are checking whether 2 elements are equal, like C minus D equals 0. Then you could have, then it means the difference of C minus D is equal to 0. That's what we will be checking in case if double equals are present. Now since exclamatory mark and equal is present, it means that it is not equal to. It means it is not equal to. LHS is not equal to RHS. In that case, this becomes true. That means if the difference of C minus D is not equal to 0, then only execution goes inside this. Otherwise, this part will be skipped. Otherwise, this part will be skipped. Now let us study all this through a program that we have already created in the system. But before going to that, we will see so look at this if else statement. In the previous slide that is shown, If simple if condition, opening flower bracket and closing flower bracket, and within that a group of statement is present, then it is called as a simple if statement. In case a if statement along with a condition, opening bracket and closing bracket with a block of statement, and as soon as the first flower bracket in the if statement is closed, if you find another statement called else with an opening flower bracket and a closing bracket and having a set of code within that flower brackets, then you call it as a else block. So if else is like a pair. If the condition becomes true, if block of statement will be executed. If this condition becomes false, then else block statements will be executed. Now let us look at this flow chart. When execution comes to the if else statement, it tests the condition. If condition is true, it executes the all the statement which is there in the true block, and then it comes to the statement X which is following the if else statement, and then it gets terminated. Suppose if the condition is not true, then the true block will be skipped. By skipping the true block, it executes the else block statements, and after the execution of the else block statement, a last statement following the if else last statement X which is following the entire if else statement will be executed. So look at here. When I say if else statement, it includes if condition, all the brackets, quotes, and up to this is called as one if statement, if else statement. When I say statement X is a statement X following if else statement means it includes the if from here till here. If true block and then else block of code and then this last line. Now let us go back. There's a program, there's a program here. It is showing that. Look here. We'll copy the same code and then let us check what we will get output. See, before that discussing, main program, main function, opening brace, int a, printf, enter the integer. That means you will enter an integer. Entered value from the keyboard will be stored to a using the scanf %d in the address of a. %d because it is integer. In the address of a means because a variable we are using here, and it is a syntax how to use a scanf. It is told yesterday. So it is checking if a %2 is equal to 0. If the number that is entered by the keyboard and stored in a, if divided by 2, whether its remainder is 0, the percentage is remainder operators is equal to 0. Then if that is true, print %d is an even number. Suppose if this becomes wrong, then print % is an odd number. So note that here in the program we are not showing the flower bracket here and here. If there is one line in the block and that is to be executed in the if true block, then you need not mention the flower brackets. If there are multiple lines, then it is mandatory. Putting the flower bracket after the if statement is mandatory if there are more than one statement in the if block to be executed. Similarly, in the else block there is only one statement, so no flower brackets are required. Now let us go to the JEditor and execute this program. Let us take cd jtsc is a folder where I will create. I will create gedit if else.c. Now we will type the code. So we will take the same code instead. Copy and bring it, paste it. So for your easy understanding, if you add flower brackets here, then it would give you a easy look to the one that is shown in the slide. Look here, it is asking this. Yeah, some mistakes are there. I'll remove those mistakes. So, oh yeah, so maybe this is the error. So when I copied this code from that slide, it is showing a kind of error. This character is is wrong. It must be this. Inverted commas are wrong. So however, I will change this. Here also I think it is necessary to change. Oh, it's showing a lot of errors. I will just change this program completely. I'll retype this entire code. Delete. You can take this hash include stdio.h void main. Scanf percentage %d and scan it in the address of letter A, sorry, variable A, Now close this. Now you have to check if A is equal to A is 2. Printf hi /n hi. So close this. Then close this if else block printf hello. So please observe this, students. If the if block becomes true, then it will execute hi. Otherwise, it will execute hello. So I will add getChar to make the output that is displayed to stand still until we press a key on the keyboard. So this is fine. So we'll close this program, come out. After coming out, you execute now. Yeah, it is showing some error expected, some after. Yeah, forgotten to add a printf somewhere here. Where have I forgotten? Yeah, I have not added this parenthesis properly. Save, close, go back, see. Yeah, it is taking to /a.out now. You see, it is asking me to enter the value. If I enter the value 2, it will show high. It has to show high. Now it is showing high. That means I entered value 2 and I am checking whether the value that is entered is 2. It became correct. So that is true. If is said to be evaluated to the true value. So it executed the statement that is present within the if block. Fine. Now let me execute the same program once again. So instead of entering 2, I will enter 45. Let me see what it shows. Hello. So please understand that when I enter 2, it displayed high. When I entered 45, it didn't display I, instead it displayed hello. So by this, you can understand that. So look here, when the condition becomes true, it executes whatever that is there within the if block. When condition becomes false, whatever that will be there within the false block. So, and immediately after that, if you see this code, getChar is the line that is present immediately after the if and else block, or simply if and else statement. After this if and statement, there is a getChar statement in the program. So whether this block executes, that means true block of the if executes, or the false block of the if else statement executes. Finally, this has to be executed because it is present after the if else statement. Now I will close this, save and close. So this is all about if else statement. I'll minimize this. So there is a program given in the slide also. So then we will see the if else statement. So that means now this is nested of if else statement. Nesting means what? So look here, look at this. There is a if condition within the if condition. That means inside the block of the if condition, there is one more if condition. Understand? And there is one more else here. The else what you see in the bright red color, dark red color is the outer if block. So this is, we can't cover it here, this is, and this with respect to this close bracket else and else block constitutes to be the outer if block. And you see inside this if block itself there is one more if statement. So embedding one if statement within the another one is said to be nested if else statement. That is what is shown here in the program. You see a main program, and it declares three variable float a, b, c, and it reads the value for a, b and c using scanf statement. That is why 3% f's are there, because three variables are there. First f reads the value from the keyboard at the address of a. Second f reads the value from the keyboard in the address of b. Third one reads the value to variable c. So like that, the next part of the code here to find out the largest number out of that. So what it is going to do, you see, first it compares a and b, then goes inside this if loop, checks whether a is greater than c. In the first case, it checks a is greater than b. If a is greater than b, then it also checks whether a is greater than c. So for that, look at here, this if is present within another if. So what we call this as, nested if statements. If else, close else statement of the outer if. That is what it means to. So this is, I think, quite easy. You can try this program on your system to execute and check the results. Now there's if else ladder. If else ladder means, when there is a group of conditions to be tested. That means test the condition 1. If it becomes true, okay. If it doesn't becomes true, then check the next condition. And if that condition becomes true, execute some lines of code. If that condition 2 also do not become true, then go to the condition 3, check whether it is true or not. If it is true, execute the statement 3 here. Look here, execute the statement 3. If that is also wrong, then execute the next statement. If that is also not, check for the next condition. So finally, one of the condition has to become, if it becomes true, that particular statement will be executed. In case if any of these conditions are not true, then finally what is there in the else block of the else block will be executed. So that is what the purpose of the else if ladder is. Else if ladder is used in the scenarios where multiple conditions are to be tested. Now that is what it follows. It checks if loop, if statement checks the first condition. If that becomes true, the statement 1 is to be executed. If it doesn't become true, then else if the next statement is condition 2 is condition 2 is to be executed. That is what is being expressed here. If the condition 1 is true, execute the statement 1. If that doesn't, check one more condition. That checking one more condition is used with else if statement. See, students, you should write else little space and then if statement and then condition. So like that you can concatenate, you can join together multiple conditions and execute either of this if blocks. Either of this means there can be multiple if blocks here. Whichever if loop becomes true, that particular block of code will be executed. In case if any of these conditions doesn't become true, then else block that is found at the last will be executed. So now if else ladder will be executed with respect to this flow chart. And in the exams also, if you are asked to explain the if else statement, then we have to write up this diagrams and then explain. Look at this, what it says. Entry means the execution starts from this point. Check the condition 1. If it is true means execute the statement 1. If it is not true means, that means if it is false means go here again, go for the next if, check the condition 2. True means execute, otherwise false. So like that it can goes to condition n. So when all the conditions are reached, to failure, then the default statement is executed. Understand? After executing the default statement, by default, statement X will be executed. That is what the meaning of that. Now let us go to the program and check out. So how to see how to execute the program containing the if else. Contest.c. Now see, I will enter a character. So I will enter letter. If I enter letter A, it will print the first condition will be for becomes true. When it becomes true, it will not taken to the next condition. So let me see. So I think I'll have to go to the program first and then comes back to you for the execution. Comes back to this for the execution. Look here, I have used if else statement like this. So printf enter the character and scan that to %C. Now if C is A, it will print you entered A. If C is B, it will not execute this part. It will go here. It displays you entered letter B. If you don't enter B, then it will check whether you enter D. Then it will print you enter D. If you don't enter either A or B or D, then it will print the statement you did not enter either A or B or D. So save this code. Come back here. Use the command C contest.c. Enter the value of the character. I will enter letter B. It is showing you entered letter B. Yeah, so that is all about if else statement. So we'll close this editor terminal. Then let us see what is there here. There is a sample program given here in the slide. You can also understand it by going through this. Look at here. The program has variables units and custom num, and there is another variable of type float called charges. So the next line in the program is to enter the custom number and units consumed. So the values after displaying this line on the screen, the user will enter the two values. Both the two values will be scanned to the variables custom and unit respectively. Now it will check out whether unit is lesser than 500, then charges is equal to 0.5 into units, like how the billing will be done in the electric bill. So in case if unit is not less than 200, so then it will check whether units is lesser than 400 or lesser than or equal to 400. If it is so, the charges is equal to 100 plus 0.65 star. So like that, it goes on checking whether the units are lesser than or equal to 200 or units are lesser than equal to 400, 600 and so on and so on. For each case, it is going to charge a different pricing rate, billing rate. So in that way, this program shows the usage of if-else statement. Now here there is a necessity in billing to check whether the consumer has consumed 200 watts or 400 watts or 600 watts, so on. So for each case, a different pricing is to be used for billing purpose. So in such a scenario like this, where multiple conditions are to be tested, then if-else if statements are to be, if-else if statement is to be used. So finally, so this is what the thing is. Then look at the switch statement. This I think you all know very familiarly, because in the first quadratic equation program, the first program of the lab, that is quadratic equation, finding roots of quadratic equation. we use a switch case there. And in most of the programs that we use in lab, we use a switch statement. So what is this switch statement? Let us see. The syntax for switch will be like this. Syntax means how we should write that in the program. Switch parenthesis, within that parenthesis an expression should be there, and then switch should be followed by a closing, so opening brace, and within the opening brace you will start writing case value, and then a semicolon, and in front of the semicolon you should write block 1. Block 1 means a group of lines of C code that is to be executed, right? And then break means after executing the case, the block 1 which is present in front of the semicolon, find in front of case value 1, the execution should come out of the switch case. Similarly, case 2, block 2 mean block 2 and break. Like that you can have the 257 different cases in case if the expression is declared as a character. Default block, and if any of the cases are not true, then default block of code will be executed. And if the holes after executing this switch case completely, the statement following the switch statement will be executed. Now look at this. This is quite now entry. Execution starts from here, it goes here, the switch expression is evaluated. It means checking the expression. So once the expression is corrected, it must either produce a value, one of those values which are present here. Suppose after evaluating the switch expression, if it comes to know that the value is value 1, then the block 1 code will be executed. Block 1 code will be executed. Suppose value is 2, then block 2 code will be executed. Value is 3, block 3 code will be executed. It's like that. No expression is matched here means default block will be executed. After executing the switch case, finally the statement that is following the switch case will be executed. So that is what about this. Let us analyze this program. So there is a main function. Within that main function there are 3 variables of type integer: grade, mark and index. And now you see it displays there's a printf statement to display enter your marks. And as soon as this line is seen on the execution screen, you will enter the marks, and the marks that is entered by the keyboard should be stored in a variable called mark. For that, scanf %d is used. %d because mark is of type integer. And then index is calculated by dividing the marks by 10. Now, so the index is used as an expression here in the switch case. Now when you divide the marks by 10, suppose if number 4 comes as the result of dividing mark by 10, then when that number 4 is replaced by the index, the value that is created in the index variable by dividing the mark variable by 10 is replaced with the index in the switch expression. Suppose if it is 4, the execution directly goes here, and then it will assign a string called grade. First division is equal to grade. That means grade is equal to first division. And then breaks. Break means comes out of that. It will not be any other thing. It will here in this case, look at this. Suppose index is equal to 10 or 9 or 8. In that case, the variable grade, this grade will be assigned honors. Yeah, we will see this because here they declared it as integer and it is showing honors here. Like that. What depending on the marks, the corresponding case will be executed. Depending on the marks, corresponding case will be executed. So fine, we will go back to the program and executes our program that is written. cc contest.c. See, it is asking enter the choice for case, switch case. So you will have to enter a choice. So before knowing what choice is to be entered, we have to check out what is there in the program. So try Control Z, go back to this contest.c. So here is a switch case written in checkout in the same program, in the previous program, switch case. Int is choice. So now it will display the statement print enter the choice for the switch case. Then the choice that is entered in the keyboard is read out through is taken into the system through the scanf %d comma ampersand of choice statement. Now this choice is passed here. Now if I enter 1, it must print high because the choice will be substituted. If choice is if I entered 1, then switch 1, then it will switch to the case 1. Suppose if I enter 2, it must print K80. Suppose if I enter 3, it must print tip2. Suppose if I enter 4, it must print Shardanagar. Suppose if I don't enter anything, it must print hello. Now please look at this. When I enter 1, when the switch case is being executed, execution comes here to the opening flower bracket and comes and stands here. If the choice is 1, it goes here and passes to this statement. That means pass through this window between two dots, what you see. Go here and execute the printf statement and comes out. It comes out because there is a break statement immediately after the printf. Suppose if this break is not there, it will execute the case 2 also. Understand? Suppose if I will enter 2, then case 1 will be skipped. This part will be skipped. Execution executes the printf K80 statement and then breaks up. Breaks up means comes out of the switch case. Now suppose if I enter 3, then it will skip the case 1 and case 2, directly go here, print and prints the string tip2. After printing the state tip2, it will not come out because break is not there here. See, break is not there. Since break is not there, it will continue to execute the case 4 also, and after executing the case flow, that means it displays Shardanagar and then breaks out. After breaking out, fine, the switch functioning is over. Execution of switch case is over. In case if I don't enter any of these choices like 1, 2, 3, 4, by default it will enter hello. So let us demonstrate the functioning of switch case through the execution of this program. So I will CC to this. So as I said, if I enter 1, what should I get? See, it was asking for a character. I will that is a previous part of the program. It is enter the choice for the switch case. Suppose if I enter 1, it must display what? High. It displayed high. Again, I will enter this, execute the same program. Here it is asking the choice for the switch case. I will press 2. It has to display K80. Similarly, I will enter the value 3. If I enter the just a minute. If I enter 3, it must display tip2 and Shardanagar also. Tip2 and Shardanagar. Suppose I will enter the value 4. It will print only Shardanagar. Suppose I will enter a value which is not there in the case statements. case expressions. So then I will enter 100. See, it will display hello. So I hope you all could understand the functioning of switch cases, switch case statement. Now I will stop up to this. I'll explain the usage of the goto statement in the next video. So I am recapitulating this in the today's video. We have started with explaining gets and puts, which were explained in the previous class, which without its practicals. It was a single line of explanation is told, but in the present video, in this video, I have showed you how to execute how to use the gets and puts in your program, and then after that I explained what is the meaning of sequential execution of a program and branching in the program. So that is what was shown. So execution started from here. I said I explained about sequential execution of the program and branching of the program. So recapitulating to you once again, revising the things to you once again, that sequential means line by line execution, one after the other. In case if any lines are skipped, then the execution is said to be branched. Understand? So how that branching can be realized in C program, that is what is explained so far. So these are all the statements we normally use: if statement, switch statement, and conditional switch case statements. So look at the slide. If condition, if block, within that if block statements, if condition become true, if block executes, if condition doesn't become true, in other words condition become false, then if block will not be executed. Different forms of if statements are there: simple if else, nested if, and else if ladder. All this we have seen in the code, and this is the example of if else statement. If condition become true, if block will be executed. If condition is not true, then else block will be executed. In this statement you can see else block will be executed. And then what we had is nesting of if else statement. If you embed one if else statement within another one, we can call that as nesting of if else statement. And what we find is next else if ladder. When there is multiple conditions is to be checked, you can go on checking like if condition, if not else if next condition, else if next condition, until you find the else. At the else you can mention the default statement, default block to be executed. So this is the flowchart for that. And then the program executed. Switch case, when there is multiple conditions are to be checked, then switch is the ideal one. It takes an expression, and the expression value will be passed on to the different cases that are used. So which value will be passed to the corresponding case will be executed. So a case will be having a semi-colon, and in front of the colon a block of code will be there. Block means there can be more than one lines of code. After that block of code you can have break if you want only one case to be executed. If you do not want the only one block one to be executed, instead you want case 2 all to be executed, then this break must be removed. So likewise you can follow the explanation that is told shown through the program. So that is all about switch case. So okay students, in the next video I will explain about goto statement. Thank you.